What's up, guys? I wanted to get into this article that I saw about how digital payment apps such as PayPal, Venmo, Cash App could soon be regulated like banks, and how this essentially ties into the digital banking agenda, which correlates to the MOTB, the mark, and how essentially, this is why cash money is becoming worthless. To popularize digital payment apps, to popularize digital banking, or, essentially not using cash anymore, which all correlates to the MOTB and that whole agenda. So let's get into it. And really, all economies around the world will mostly become worthless except for the economies that are going to be primarily pushing the MOTB. So with that being said, I just want to make this video to, get into what's coming, get into the fact that World War III will probably be used to collapse global economies to then usher in a new economy, which will be digital, Neuralink, ID 2020 type economy. And that's pretty much what's going to happen if World War III happens, if people don't step in and stop the conflict. So, yeah, that's why it's important for people to pay attention to what's going on. Because the goal of these world leaders is to catch us completely off guard with this whole economy thing. They want it to happen so fast that people don't realize that the economy just basically collapsed. Now we are witnessing a slow, decline of the economy, but that's really nothing compared to what is going to happen, where things are just going to get really bad really fast if people don't step up to make things better soon. That's why it's up to us to make things better soon, so that way nothing bad happens. With that being said, I just want to get into why digital payment correlates with the MOTB, because the MOTB is something you can't buy or sell without. Digital economy, if it's completely digital, you basically will need a device. This is why Neuralink is important, because Neuralink inserts the technology in you. If you have a mandate that you have to have Neuralink to access an economy, that is the MOTB. Now that is what Neuralink is developing. That is what these companies are developing. If you want proof that we're entering a new era, digital banking wasn't possible 100 years ago. Neuralink was not possible 100 years ago. All of this stuff that we're developing, which is going to lead into cybernetics, it's going to lead into a singularity where humanity merges with technology, where the genetic modification, the gene editing technology is going to change us. All of this stuff is essentially, wasn't possible 100 years ago, meaning that we are entering a new era, a new time period, where, a whole bunch of new stuff is going to happen, and a whole bunch of new things are going to be possible. And what I mean by this is Neuralink, they're trying to make it possible for people who can't walk, people who can't talk. They're trying to make it possible for those people to do those things again. Not only that, they're trying to make it better than if they were a normal human being. And they're trying to make people who are normal human beings better than normal human beings. So when you look at what this technology is really aiming to do, what it's aiming to achieve, it's really aiming to achieve something that hasn't been done before. And you can even look at this with medicine or with the advancement of medical technology to where we're able to keep people alive who would have died way back then because we wouldn't have had the technology possible to keep them alive. And this is essentially what I mean by we're coming into a new age. That there's lots of people who, they wouldn't be alive without specific medication. It's almost as if there's an alchemical dependence on the modernization of the medical field. And this is what I'm essentially trying to break down, is that all of this is part of a change that is occurring in humanity and around the world, is a part of advancement in humanity. And this advancement with things like Neuralink, where they plan to make humans even more advanced, is really what we're referring to when we're talking about the transformation and the MOTB. That's really what is being discussed, is that this technology has the potential to be exactly what is described. And when you have the people who develop this technology putting numbers around it, such as 666, it really makes you question what they're developing. And that's really the whole reason we want to discuss this, is because the technology should be getting talked about anyway. We should be discussing the specifics of the technology, but we're really questioning why these people are putting weird numbers and weird symbology around their technology.